This video is brought to you by eggs, a fantastic source of rich macronutrients and a perfect part of a balanced diet. Pick up a packet of eggs from your local game store today! Recently I was asked on my Discord if I had to have a persona, what persona would I have? And I said Teshar because if I was going to be knee-deep in anthropomorphic pussy, cats, then I want to have a beak, because that's probably the best way to get involved. You know? Do you get it? Do you get it? No, not that. I'm suggesting that I would peck your arsehole until you climax, you filthy fuck. Get your mind out of the gutter. Hi, I'm Vince, also known as the Magic the Gathering content creating equivalent of skipping stones like an absolute boss. Nailed it. Teshar is one of the strongest mono white commanders out there and arguably the best of the combo commanders in the colour, perhaps second only to Saram, but auras and equipment's just artifacts for poor people. And if I've learned anything from my time in the States recently, it's that poor people are the enemy. But all flipping jokes aside, Saram does play a bit like a combo deck, cantripping its way through your library and can finish off in some form of combo kill if you want to, but you're more likely to find the deck smashing face in some form of Voltron strategy once the value engine is done. Teshar is different. He just ain't that kind of bird. If we're honest about it, Teshar's deck isn't really white. I mean, you play some white cards, sure, but by and away the best cards in the deck are brown or grey. In short, he's an artifact commander. In order to go through every single mini combo or value engine in the deck would take far too long. I simply can't do that, so I'm going to show you as much value as I can muster in the gameplay that will come shortly. However, I will briefly explain Teshar, eggs, and how you can tune this deck towards being maybe a bit more competitive than the fast combo would suggest it is at first sight. First off, the core of the deck is Teshar himself. Having this effect in the command zone means that even if your opponents deal with it, you can easily get back on track with an abundance of mana. I highlight this because a lot of the combos and synergies you will see in this deck aren't really worth running alongside Teshar in the 99, simply because he's really fragile. If you lose access to Teshar because he gets palved, a lot of these cards become literally useless pieces of junk. So yeah, having Teshar in the command zone where you can get access to him again is great. God bless the changes to the tuck rule, huh? Whenever you cast an historic spell which counts artifacts, legendaries and sagas, Teshar allows you to reanimate. That means put back into play, not to the hand, into play a creature of CMC 3 or less from the graveyard. This not only allows you to bring back destroyed weenies, but also regurgitate sacrificed utility and combo pieces. Teshar gets pretty fucking silly, pretty fucking quick. So what is the best way to abuse this birdie boy? Well, it's breakfast time, my friends. Eggs is an archetype in multiple formats of Magic that people tend to hate. The decks create loops and take time to really get going. Eggs as a combo traditionally doesn't tend to rely too heavily on a singular card or piece, hence why it kept coming back in Modern. Instead, it looks to churn through its deck in order to generate value in the form of card draw and mana, and sometimes board presence by looping what are called eggs. Eggs in MTG are artifacts that give value when they leave, and sometimes when they enter. These are named after the original egg cycle from Odyssey, which when cracked gave you back some of your mana investment and a card drawn. Over time, better eggs have been printed like Terrarion or Chromatic Sphere, and this gave rise to numerous egg decks that look to combo out in numerous ways. With our variant here, we want to crack our eggs with sack outlets for cards and mana, and then use our freshly drawn eggs, our low-cost artifacts, to reanimate any egg-like creature in our yard or creature that might return eggs. To clarify, for example, Mere Moon Vessel is in fact an egg and a creature. It gives us mana when it's cracked. Meanwhile, a Mere Retriever isn't an egg itself, but can return a previously cracked egg to our hand, which when cast can actually reanimate the Retriever again thanks to Teshar's ability. Then we sack the Retriever, cast the egg, bring back the Retriever, bring back the egg, and number wang, we have a loop. The way the loops get us anywhere is that we need a component or egg that draws us a card, and then we just draw through our deck, or we generate mana as an alternative. The mana sources can be in the eggs themselves, like in the case of Moon Vessel, or in the sack outlets that we're looking for as well, like Ashnod's Altar or Krark Clan Ironworks. We can also net or generate more mana by simply reducing the cost of the cards in our deck with cards like Cloud Key, Foundry Inspector, or more recently, Ugin the Unfuckable. So in short, to loop, we're looking for an egg, a Retriever, and some form of sack outlet. Add Teshar to that, and we've got a stew going. A breakfast stew. I feel like I've mixed my food analogies. A breakfast stew filled with eggs, that works, right? You put eggs in... Ah, fuck. If you want to play this at more competitively aligned tables, then perhaps watching some EDH channels might help you there, but there are some clear ways that I can suggest to improve this deck and the interaction that it has with other decks. Cards like Grand Abolisher and Defense Grid are very good at allowing you to set up a turn where people are going to struggle to interact with what you are doing in any meaningful way. White doesn't have the toys that Blue has to interact with opponents like Force of Will or Mental Misstep or Spell Pierce, so your aim should be to lay down a protection piece, then go hog wild on your turn and kill everyone, or at least the people that you are scared of. So if you're American, it's probably the nearest communist. And lastly, some upgrades and downgrade paths. This version of the deck is close to $2,500 in paper due to Mishra's workshop. Feel free to cut that. It's only going to improve your games like 10% of the time. It's very cheap on Modo, but it's very expensive in paper. It's, you know, $1,500. Alternatively, you can look to power up the deck further with Lion's Eye Diamond and Auriok Salvagers to create infinite mana, and which with the Walking Ballista is infinite damage. A quick disclaimer, it's not actually infinite, just arbitrarily large, but fuck off, we all know what that means. It means infinite shit. Right, before the gameplay, let's plug some shit. This video is made possible by two sponsors, the first of which is my Patreon. On screen now, the biggest and the brightest, and by that I mean the ones that give me the most money, of my patrons. It supports this show and all the videos I make, all the travel I do, all the jokes about pecking arseholes that come up. The Discord is super active, we have an accompanying Minecraft server that all Discord members have access to, so what are you waiting for? For just $2 a month, less than a cup of coffee, you can spit polish my metaphorical bell end and get involved with banter on the Discord. What's not to like? And of course, the other big support of this channel and the Pleasant Kenobi experience, TM, is channelfireball.com. They help to keep the lights on and the content flowing. They're currently running a bonus promotion on buy lists, by the way. So if you're looking to turn some of your cards into store credit to pick up other cards, there's a whopping 30% bonus on trade-ins up until the 18th of March. This video is coming out on the 6th or the 7th of March, so you got another week and a half. Head over to channelfireball.com/buylist to check out that offer. If you're signing up for a Magic Fest, a CFB events, or picking up singles from the robust website and their selection, then use the code KENOBI, capital letters KENOBI, to help support the show, show them where you came from, and get a little bit of store credit back on your purchases as well. With that all out of the way, let's shit some eggs into the mouths of unsuspecting opponents. Our opening hand has lands, a card so good it's banned in Legacy, and a card so good it's banned in Modern. And also a Leonin Squire. Lol. Oh fuck, all jokes aside, even one of our lands is banned in Modern. Commander is wild. Our opponents are on Yidris, Cascade Man, Prime Speaker Zagana, misdraw all the fucking cards in the world, and Joda, who's Doctor Strange, but for the entitled people who think they're above paying mana costs. Fucking millennials, am I right? All about instant gratification. Back in my day, we'd have to hardcast Progenitus. What's that? It's just natural order into. Oh, fuck off! Thatch Land into Stomping Ground into Spellbook from Joda. We draw another 0-mana artifact, which is actually pretty good here. We decide not to shit out our hand on turn 1 as we don't want to provoke the wrath of our opponents, gain aggro, or have them keep up any interaction. We want to blindside them with value so that when we end up in a position of insurmountable advantage, it was more of a surprise, motherfucker. Also, we want to play equipment after Pure Steel to refill our hand, not before. Yidris leads with Imperial Seal because they probably aren't fucking around. Hardly anyone casually plays Yidris, right? And no one casually plays Imperial Seal, right? Maybe I'm just making excuses for what's about to happen. Zagana Scribes with Temple of Mystery, Divining Top and Temple Garden from Doctor Strange. We play an Ancient Tomb into Pure Steel Paladin. Lad. Mox Opal, which doesn't cantrip for us, then a Paradise Mantle, which does, and it cantrips us into another fun banned card in Legacy, Mishra's Workshop. I actually forgot I put that into the deck, and I filmed the deck tech after I'd written this. I don't even know if it's any good in the deck, honestly. If I build something like this in paper, I would just skip this. I don't own one, I never plan to pick one up, it's just way too expensive. I mean, a near-mid one will set you back only $2,199. So yeah, I'll skip on that. Because a Skull Clamp, a banned card, which cantrips. The only thing better than a Skull Clamp is a Skull Clamp that ATPs and draws you a card. Wow you. We suit up our Paladin with a fabulous looking fur coat and a cock ring and pass the turn. Soul Ring from Maelstrom Man, Aqueduct bouncing the baby back to hand. Zagana plays some rather fetching boots, and the Sorcerer Supreme spins the top and then plays a Birds of Paradise. We untap and play Workshop, casting Mere Retriever. We cast Teshar and then we clamp for 0 mana thanks to the Meadowcraft ability of Pure Steel Paladin, our Mere Retriever. And we kind of not draw our opponent here by drawing a Mere Moon Vessel, a card that is pretty shit in most places, but in this deck, it's absolutely fucking gross. Proof that even you, the humble viewer of this here YouTube video, can amount to something in your life. Yes, you. I know you're sat there thinking, he can't be talking about me, but yes, you, Thomas. Thomas from Illinois, I'm talking about you and everyone else watching this video. Don't let your memes be dreams. Be the mere moon vessel you want to see in the world, Thomas from Illinois. And everyone else watching this too. Like, not just Thomas, but everyone. I've got distracted. We cast Mere Moon Vessel with our 1 floating mana, which triggers Teshar and brings back the Mere Retriever to play. I clamp Moony Boy for free, netting a mana and drawing 2 cards. We then clamp the Retriever, which gives us a trigger to bring Moony Boy back, and ta-da! We can now draw our entire deck. Magic's really fucking easy. Welcome to turn 3, my friends. Take my hand, I will be your guide. We Moon Vessel, bringing back the Retriever. In amongst this, we drew Strip Mine, which is just itching to blow up this aqueduct over here. At this point in the proceedings, the Zagana player has seen enough and exits the game like a damn coward. We loop a few times and find a Lotus Petal. We use Lotus Petal to bring back Moony and clamp him again. We then cast a 0 mana Stone Cold Serpent, less of a snake and more of an egg. Serpent triggers Teshar, brings back Moony, and we clamp Moony again. Value. All of this clamping of Moon Vessels off of a 0 CMC artifact recurring him has netted us 3 mana, so we cast Cloud Key, naming Sorcery. I'm only joking, you fucking tit. We named artifact. By the way, the Cloud Key also triggers Teshar, and we brought back, guess what, Moon Vessel. For the record, at this point, I'm fully convinced that we've won. We're just masturbating now with an audience. They are allowed to leave at any time. It says within the rules, a player may concede at any time. It just seems like our opponents like to watch. We crack Lotus Petal for 1 white mana, cast Enlightened Tutor. We put a card on top of our library, then clamp our Moon Vessel to draw it.
Who's that Pokemon?
Altar of the Brood. We clamp the Retriever and draw 2 more, bringing something back. I can't remember what though. We cast Altar of the Brood for free thanks to Cloud Key and Reanimate Retriever. We cast Chromatic Sphere for free thanks to Cloud Key and bring back Moon Vessel. Every opponent that enters the battlefield now mills our opponents for 1. We clamp Moonchild, we clamp Retriever, Moonchild goes back to hand. We cast an old kitchen table favourite of mine when I was a kid, Claws of Gix. Look Ma, it gains life. It's basically a white card. This reanimates Retriever. We cast Moony Lad. You'll never guess what happens next. That's right, clamp the ever-loving fuck out of them. We cast another banned modern card in Clark Clan Ironworks. Good riddance to the bad rubbish. We sacrifice Moon Vessel, net a load of mana, cast Ashnod's Altar because it's always good to have multiple sack outlets in case your opponent has a way to interact. Which, They don't? Altar brings back Moonmere. We sack both bodies for mana, getting 6 in our pool. We cast Commander Sphere, a card I think more people should be playing in Commander. A 3 CMC mana rock that makes all your colours and can be turned back into a card in hand in a pinch or in the late game. Sign me up. We bring back Retriever, we recast the Moony that is in hand because the last time we sacked the Retriever, we tap the Sphere for white and cast Leonin Squire. Squire returns a Chromatic Sphere to our hand. We currently have 20 cards in hand, we have quite the dominating position I feel. We sack some bodies for mana, Looping Vessel and Retriever again. Clamp, clamp. 24 cards in hand. Loop again for mana, 14 in pool. Loop again, clamp, draw, 26 cards in hand. Bauble makes for another loop. We drew Uga the Ineffable, who's basically just 2 Cloud Keys stuck together in this deck. We clamp some more, put a clamp on a cat, sacrifice a cat for the greater good. Fuck you, cat. Fun fact, Planeswalkers are also historic, so when we cast this Ugin, it brings back the Moony Lad. I'm doing so much clamping that I feel like a traffic warden, but much less of a cunt. 32 cards in hand. Solemn Puppy makes an appearance and Junk Diver joins the battle. This triggers Teshar to bring back the Squire, which then brings back an egg to hand. We play a Sphere, crack it for white, and exile this Birds of Paradise. We sack the cat for mana again and cast Astral Cornhole for 2 and use Teshar to bring back the cat and the sphere. We play Scrap Trawler, which is another piece similar to Mere Retriever in the sense that it's fucking bullshit.
It's bullshit.
Hangerback for 7. Sack Hangerback for mana, make 7 1/1s, Brood triggers a fucking ton. Sack all of them for mana alongside a couple other bodies, 20 mana in pool. Junk Diver and Scrap Trawler trigger to bring back Hangerback to hand. We use a chromatic sphere that end up in hand somehow during this complete clusterfuck to bring back Cat Lad. More bodies go to the bin, we just keep grinding them up to make some sort of fucking protein paste to power out our win here. 27 mana in pool, Moon Played, Moon Sacked, Petal Played, brings back Moon. Clamping ensues. Every time we kill off a creature of 2 CMC or more, Trawler brings back our Moon Vessel. We can't get rid of the fucker now. That is what we call in this business redundancy. We sack some more shit and we play a Walker for 9, we clamp it, sack it, flip it, bop it, triggers. We clamp all these Thopters, we clamp so much that the word clamp is starting to lose all meaning. Clamp, clamp, clamperino, clamp me harder daddy, clamp, 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 clamp. I feel like I've got the clamp, clamp, fuck, clamp, clamp. We draw so many fucking cards. 52 cards in hand. We cast Aetherflux Reservoir. We cast Mox Amber, go to 79 life. Bauble, 117 life. Aetherflux Reservoir is obviously the issue here. It needs to be banned. Mindstone, 156. Memnite, yes, I'm playing Memnite in this deck. Fuck you, 196. Altar of Dementia, 237. Ornithopter, yes, that is an Ornithopter, I know, 279. Constructed All-Star Workshopper System, 322. Star, 366. Monastery Mentor, a white card so good it got restricted in Vintage. Checkmate, Twitter, 411. We cast a pedal. The stack looks like, well, it looks like a boner to me now. 457. We cast an Arcbound Ravager, and this is the straw that breaks the camel's back. The Joda player pieces out. See you later, motherfucker.
Fatality.
Hangerback for 1, 552. Mystic Forge, because we're committed to this wanking session. We find Lightning Goose on top of our library, so naturally we play it 6, 5, 1. We cast a Crucible because why the fuck not 702. Serpent for 3, 754. Scarecrow, 807. Recruiter, 861. Skyscanner, your one-stop shop for cheap flights. Check out. Actually, no, we're not sponsored by Skyscanner. Unless you call me. I promise not to masturbate like this on your planes. Anyway, 916. Foundry Inspector, 972. And finally, all that glitters. Our live total reaches the lofty peak of 1029.
It's over.
1028.
Teshar is now one chunky fucking bird. We sack a load of shit, including Hangerback, make a ton of mana, Junk Diver, play a 16/16 Hangerback, and sack it to grow our bird Cleric Chungus. Oh, by the way, with these triggers on the stack, our opponent's deck is already empty. So we've won, but we haven't won enough. We attack with a massive Chungus Teshar to send a message. I plan to fire off my Death Star to kill my opponent before the supersonic thick Teshar could make contact with their face. We didn't get to do that though because our opponent had GG'd and left before we got to that point, which is kind of hilarious considering that they sat around watching me wank myself silly but decided to edge me so hard by leaving just before I could finish. Some people pay good money for this kind of blue ball edging bullshit, but I'm not into it. This is a Christian Minecraft channel, god damn it. I hope you enjoyed that little masturbatory session. I feel the need for some release now, so I might go shit myself in a backstreet dumpster in order to let off some steam. If you enjoyed the video, please, please, please hit that like button, ring my fucking bell, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, tell me how you like your eggs in the morning. Sunny side up, sunny side down, covered in cum. Let me know in the comment section below. I've been Vince, also known as President Kenobi on the internet. Be good to one another. Until next time, I'll see you later. Oh, and watch the videos that come up on screen now as well. You should watch those. I'm proud of these.